How are you guys? Are you going to be translating? No? No English? Oh, you already have the translation in your ears. That's so cool. So I will speak slower. Good morning. My name is Roy, and I'm the founder of a company called Digital Revamp. What do? Is we do advertising, we do marketing, we do content. And I'll start sharing with you. That's me with some fame. Do you know this guy? What's his name? Do you know this guy? The other one. Shark Tank, Mark Cuban. He's also a big businessman. So how I got there is because I believed in something called the internet and digital content. So I'll tell you a little story, how I end up in America and then why I end up working in digital marketing. You guys ready? In 2006, I was studying in Lebanon. I got on a flight and I went to Greece to do a 3-week study abroad there. It turns out I was the last plane to leave Lebanon before a war happened between Hezbollah and Israel, where I'm from. So I couldn't go back to Lebanon because there's no airport. And I didn't have any money. And the program was 3 weeks and there's no place for me to stay. What did I do? I stayed another week. And then the program director pretty much helped me connect me with someone to get me a scholarship to go to school in America. So she calls me, she's like, hey, Roy, I got you a scholarship and you basically can go study in America right now. Are you interested? I'm like, sure. She goes, but you have to pay $10,000 for the flight and difference of the scholarship. I'm like, thanks, but no thanks. I don't have that kind of money. So another week went by and I was sleeping on a friends of friends couch. And she calls me again. She's like, hey, listen, Roy, I met a college president in Hong Kong and they got you a full scholarship and plane ticket, but to go to school in Missouri. You guys know where Missouri is? I don't. That was a joke, but I guess it didn't translate. So I landed in Missouri. I had $30 in cash. I didn't know anyone. When I landed in Missouri, Missouri is almost like here. It's very plain land. It's very flat. I walk out of the airport in 2006. I had a Nokia phone. I'm walking out of the airport and I'm thinking in my mind, where am I? I thought America was like New York, like Vegas, like LA, Miami. I'm like, where am I? But I was excited because I spoke English. I walk out of the airport and I see a sign, welcome Roy. I'm like, who knows me in Missouri? It turns out people from Missouri knew my story and went to pick me up from the airport without even knowing me. So I did a semester there, and then what happens, I saved some money and went to the other scholarship I had. But at that point, I made a decision, I want to change my life. And I want to become an American citizen and get a green card. The problem was, I can't get loans because I'm not a US citizen, and I can't get scholarship because I'm an international student. What can I do in 2007 to be able to pay for my school and go to school in America? So I had this idea back in 2007. How can I reach the most amount of people in the least amount of time? So I thought to myself, what's better than the internet? So I started a blog. Do you guys know what a blog is? And put up my story on it and put a PayPal account. You know what PayPal is? It's like a place you can pay money online. And I started emailing people my story. In 2007, within a month and a half, I raised $35,000 that I used to pay off my undergrad. And because of that, thank you. Because of that, I was able to graduate. And I graduated and I was trying to find a job because I wanted a job to be able to get my visa to change my life. What happens? I graduated in 2008. You guys remember what happened in 2008 globally? The market crashed. Americans can't find a job. Why on earth would they hire a guy from Lebanon in America? But I met this one person who told me this one key sentence that I want you to remember. People don't hire resumes, they hire people. Again, people don't hire resume, they hire people. So I had to figure out a way to meet more people. How do you meet more people when you don't know anyone in a city? I went on LinkedIn. You guys know LinkedIn? And I start messaging people. I sent over 1,000 messages to people. And then after meeting with them, next thing you know, I start working in a TV station and radio. where I was able to help them figure out how to become online and become on digital. And because of that, I was able to get a work visa, which is the first step to get a green card to be in America. I got a work visa. I started working in content. And you think about the television station in 2008, they didn't know what to do with the internet because the media was controlled by television and newspapers and radios. And the internet back in America in 2008 was transforming things. People are getting their news from the internet and the whole change. So the internet was changing the news, and the TV station had no idea how to deal with it. So what I had this idea, if you think what people do on the internet, they look up content because they want to change their life. They want to understand something. On the other side, when you turn on TV, it's a sports show. On the internet, you don't care about sports show. You want basketball. People have very driven interest on the internet. So I start helping the television take that content and turn it on the internet on like Facebook groups or forums or blogs, and that whole transformed. But the problem was my goal was to get the green card. And if you have an undergraduate, which what I had, it's going to take you 3 to 5 years to get a green card. But if you get a master's, you can get it in 1 year. I'm like, okay, let me go get a master's. But the problem was I can't get loans and I can't get scholarship. And if I leave my job, I lose my visa. What could I do? I had this idea, why don't I start helping other companies consult on the internet? And when you do your master's or you study, they give you a lot of class projects, right? Like, here's the homework, do this, here's the homework, do that. I'm like, what's the point of those if I cannot sell them or help business with them? So let's say I'm taking a marketing class. Instead of doing a marketing project for no reason, I take this project, go to a business, a mid-sized small business, and tell them, hey, let me build you a website. Let me build you an email marketing. Let me do you SMS marketing. They didn't know what's going on with that side. And then once I did 1, 2, 3 campaigns, I was able to get them more customers, and they kept me. And next thing you know, I had a business. So I start taking every class project and sell it to a business and make money out of it, and then take the money, pay my MBA. So it took me 2 years, and I paid off my entire undergrad. And one of the first companies that I helped was called Lyft. Have you heard of Lyft? Lyft is the biggest competition of Uber. Okay? So if I told you 5 years ago, in the next 5 years, you're gonna get in someone else's car, he's gonna drive you around, you're gonna share the ride with someone, and you're gonna pay with your phone. You're gonna think I'm crazy. And he's not a cab driver, right? Or if I told you 5 years ago, in the next 5 years, your mom is gonna be on the internet, on Facebook. You're gonna think I'm crazy, right? And your mom is on Facebook right now, right? The world is changing, but most people have a hard time letting go of the past. Because the minute things become simpler, the minute people start using them, right? So once I did the project with Lyft, which is the other competition of Uber, I was able to help them do you know what a marketplace is? A marketplace, there's buyers and there's sellers, right? So I did the submission for Lyft, and next thing you know, I was selected to help them. From Lyft, I started consulting with Gallup, and I did the project with Bill Gates on his Bill Gates Foundation, something called Financial Inclusion Index. What does that mean? It means Bill Gates wants to understand how much people have access to the bank or to money, something to deposit their money, because there's correlation between if you can have access to a bank and your financial well-being. So that's how I got to meet all those people. And then last 6 months ago, I became an American citizen, and I posted, thank you, it's the best achievement of my life. I posted my story on LinkedIn, how I got there and how long it took me. Take a guess how many people viewed that story. What is it? 1.2 million people. I was blown away. Like, who am I, right? But why? Because the story was about hope, about hard work, and how you can make anything happen in your life if you put your mind to it. The only reason you can't do something is because you're not doing something. You're not activating, okay? And if you're gonna tell me I don't have resources, I didn't have the resources, but you have to have resourcefulness. You have to figure out how you could do with what you have, okay? So what I'm about to explain to you is literally some ideas that could transform your life. It could take you from here to here. But you will never get from here to here if you don't work every single day hard on it. Make sense? Okay, so right now in Tajikistan, there's 4.1 million people on Facebook. There's 1.3 million on Voconte, whatever that's called. I don't know. I've never heard of it. And then on the other side, Pinterest, Instagram, and YouTube is 640,000 people. Okay? So what does that mean? It means today the market is very green. What is green? Which means not everyone is on the internet yet. And if you look at the trend, there's basically 3% of people are active on the internet. And I can guarantee you, the minute those people gonna get a phone, what's gonna happen? They're gonna be on the internet. Have you ever driven at night around Dushanbe and you see how people gather around the free Wi-Fi? You know what I'm talking about? So what's happening, the cost of the internet is gonna go down and more people are going to be on the internet. And once you're on the internet, you're consuming. But if you're consuming and no one is producing, what's gonna happen? You're gonna be consuming someone else's content. You're gonna be consuming American content or Western content or other type of content. So what I would like to invite you here to start thinking how to become producers on the internet, how to become active users of putting content out, because this trend is gonna keep going up. And then on the other side, there's only 2% of users are active. I guarantee you in 5 years, if we come back here, this is gonna be triple or quadruple. Because when I look at the trend in the internet usage, in 2005, there was 0.1% active internet user in Tajikistan. Take a guess, what's the percentage of active user today? 2%? No, in overall on the internet. Pretty much the trend went like this. It was like this and it went up. And it's not gonna slow down, okay? So why this is important? Because if you understand something, attention is the most valuable currency. What do I mean by that? If someone has your attention, you can actually make money out of that attention. Think about TV station and radios. How do they make money? They make money because you watch them. Once you watch them, they run commercials, and someone is paying for those commercials, and they're making money. But soon enough, you're gonna be watching things on your phone, okay? And if you're watching things on your phone, the attention is on your phone. Get it? And your job, if you wanna make money, you have to figure out how to be the one making that attention on someone's phone, okay? So what's also happening is, if you could take a guess right now what's happening in America, take a guess what kids want to be in America these days. What did you want to be when you're growing up? A lawyer, a doctor, astronaut, right? A firefighter, all the stuff. I'm going to show you something what's happening in America. This is what's happening. In China, most kids want to be astronauts. In the UK, do you see it? See what's crazy? So this is happening already outside of here. Give this country 5 years or 10 years, that's gonna happen here again. Do you understand what I'm talking about? No? Okay, so this is the trend. And you could do two things today. You could still do what you do every single day tomorrow, or start thinking tomorrow, what could you do to put something on the YouTube? What could you do to put something on the internet? I will teach you how to put things on YouTube. I will teach you how to create content, and that content you could actually make money out of it, right? Because once you make money from the attention, you could be making money from anywhere in the world. So the next step is the digital advertising. So if today you're in this audience, and anyone here knows how to write? Raise your hand if you know how to write. That's perfect. Wait, not everybody raise their hand. You don't know how to write? Okay, perfect. You have a phone? Raise your hand if you have a phone. Okay, you have no excuse to create content right now because you have a phone that could produce videos, okay, and you know how to write. Make sense? And there's a bunch of apps I'm gonna show you in a second that could literally create content, and that content, if you tell a story, that story could transform someone's life. So the idea that I wanna push on you is, when you start a blog, if you write me today, what's life in Tajikistan, I would probably be reading that because I don't know anything about Tajikistan. For me to come here before I was doing my research, you know how hard it was to find a videographer from America to work for me here? It was very hard. because I looked up video and videographer in Tajikistan, nothing came up. I went on different website, nothing came up. So you could have been hired by me before coming here, but I couldn't find you. Make sense? Do you understand what I'm talking about? It's not rocket science. All you have to do is put up the story online, take time, and you're gonna tell me, oh, the internet is slow. No, it's not that slow. I was working the whole day today. Okay? And I'm not talking uploading 5 gigabyte videos or 20 gigabyte videos. All you have to do is think about the basic stuff you could do with your phone. You could literally write on your phone. You could upload a phone on your phone. You're on WhatsApp. You're on Telegram. You're on all those stuff. Instead of being the consumers, you could become the producers. Okay? People are always going to be searching for something. So if tomorrow you start a blog, tell me, okay, here's the best places to eat in Tajikistan. Okay? Someone will be advertising on this blog one day. Or if you start shooting a video, here's 10 things you didn't know about Tajikistan. Here's 10 things you didn't know about somewhere. You will watch this content. Make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? So you don't have to go far. All you have to do is tell a story. And the other thing is, if you have some basic abilities of creating graphics, okay, because all those softwares are now for free. You can literally go on the internet and find a software called GIMP, which is like Photoshop. Do you guys know Photoshop? There's a product called GIMP for free, 100%. All you have to do is download it and create content with it, create videos, create images, and you could sell those images for someone else out there. So, and then the other thing that's going to be happening a lot, which you guys do not do well yet, is managing online advertising. Because what happens is the TV is losing the attention is going on the internet. Make sense? What's happening is someone has to manage this advertising on the internet. And that someone could be you here, sitting here. Okay? So the next step, I'm going to show you something. Here's a bunch of apps you could use on your phone to create content. And we use them till today in my staff and my team. And by the way, all those apps are free. But you know what you have to do? Start becoming intentional. And you're going to have this whole objections. Because what's going on is, if you remember my story, my personal story, the first projects I did, I went and served small businesses. Okay? And I helped them create a website, create a campaign, create an email marketing. And they didn't pay me as much because they didn't know what to invest. Because do you ever invest in something you don't know? And most people won't. So at the beginning, you're going to have distraction if you want to try to do business locally, is people will not invest in you because they don't understand this world yet. Okay? So your best bet also could be, I'm going to show you on the next slide, there's a bunch of places online you could start helping people with. And before you think about the idea, here's the question that I always have the content answer. How would you describe your business to a friend? If you make a video, if you make a blog, if you make a piece of content, answering that question, that would help you online. Or what makes your business stand out? So if you're trying to help a business person create content online, if you help them answer that question, that could actually help them get somewhere. Or who are your customers as people? Because the common mistake people do whenever they're trying to help someone with online, they try to serve them whatever they have, and they don't think what their pain point. Okay? So there's something called personas. Before I do business with anyone, I don't ask them what they want. I ask them where they're trying to go. Make sense? Because people don't know what they want. But what they do know what they want to go. And your job as a business person creating content for them, help them get there faster. Get it? And then what do you need to tell about your product? So your product, your services, your company, whatever you do, you're helping someone do something, solve a problem. And then the places you can start looking all to create content is, I always recommend to look at Google Trends and the words. People every day are searching for something. Okay? So you're going to tell me, I don't know how to describe my product. I don't know what to write. If you right now go find on Google Trends, it will show you, for instance, how many people are searching for the word, makeup artist in Dushanbe. How many people are searching for the word videographer in Dushanbe. And then the other place is answer the public. Answer the public gives you what people are asking online, what kind of questions. And you know how you can make money if you answer those questions? Because once they go there, ask that question, they're going to go find the answer. And if they're reading the answer that you wrote, the video that you made, the blog that you produced, you could be making money from that. Get it? Helpful? Not so much? And then, so all the other tools, so what I always stress on is there's existing trends on the internet, but you have to add your spin. How many times you've seen the top five things, the top five things to do in Tajikistan? There's a video on that somewhere. Or what to do in New York, or the 5 best places to visit in New York. You probably at some point in your life watched that video. You know what you could do? Make another video that the 6 things you should see in New York and add one more thing, and that video that you made could become viral. You see how it's not that hard. You have to be intentional in thinking what is the trend, create content that help people get there, either entertain them, make their life better, or get them somewhere. Make sense? So the other things I always refer to is, here's how you can monetize your content. So I showed you how you could produce content, and I showed you where could you put your content. The second step is, if you put your content on YouTube and you use the right tags, the right words, it's not about just creating a video. Anyone can create a video. But if that video doesn't have the right title, the description in it, it's never going to be found. How do you come up with the title? I showed you how. If you look at Google Trends, you take a trend and then adjust it to be something that that's going to be found that you created. Or the other things you could, have you guys heard of Tune? Do you know anything about what's called affiliate marketing? Okay, so I'll give you an example. Let's say right now I made this video, which actually, by the way, we're recording. In my video, I made a reference for a product on Amazon. Okay? I could literally go on Amazon, make a link for myself, put it on my website, and if someone clicks on the video that I put on that link, I could be making money because they went to Amazon from my video. Make sense? So pretty much anyone who has like a lot of websites online have affiliate, which means if tomorrow you could, basically I'm using this that I bought from Amazon from America, and you're sitting in Tajikistan, okay? You could make a review on this that's not even yours. You could repurpose the video, okay? And then have the link of Amazon on that blog, and you could be making money from Amazon. Get it? It's called affiliate. So that's a big site you could use for affiliate marketing. So basically, you could be sitting literally in your home, in here, and producing content for people to consume around the world. But if you have the system in place, you could be monetizing that. Get it? So this is an example of a YouTube monetization that we have for a client, or Facebook monetization, or Instagram monetization. Because people every day are looking up stuff. Take a guess what's the percentage of people who produce versus people who consume. It's even less. Think about yourself. How many times you open your phone and you scroll and watch versus how many times you actually take photos and post? You consume more than you produce, right? And most people are the same way. So my recommendation is start becoming producers and be intentional about the production. And here's the places online you could be using to be selling that content. Have you guys heard of those websites? So Upwork is huge. I in America hire people in India and in I don't even know where. Like they're everywhere. I hire them to produce content for us, to write stories, to do blogs. But if you go out there and you write a blog, but that blog doesn't have the way that I need the blog to be written, by using keywords, by using trends, I cannot pay you for it. So first learn the principles, the strategy, okay? Then you can go be on any of those websites and sell your videos, sell your articles, sell your animation, sell your even research abilities you could do. Those sites could literally be making you money from anywhere. Like you could be in like Lebanon and serving people in LA because they needed someone to do captions. Okay, here's the positions that are going to be needed much more in the world. So the marketing world and the digital world has created new job descriptions. A lot of those jobs are not out there in this part of the world yet. So if you today understand, let's take the picture of this and go home and research what that means, okay, and be the one who provide that service, you could be making a lot of money because you actually know the trend that's going to happen. Make sense? We're at the early stage of the internet here. And if you get in at this stage and understand how you could be, this is how you could make money with that stage, you could be the one rising with it. Got it? Helpful? Not so much? So, I'll give you another example. This is, you guys heard of MAC, the makeup? This is how much revenue they made. Do you know Kylie Lipkit? Have you heard of her? You see how much she made? She surpassed MAC, who's been in business for I don't even know how many years, right? Why? Because people these days are on the internet looking up for stuff that are local to them, relatable to them, that influencers are using, that other YouTubers are using. And MAC did not adopt to this technique. So they're going less and she's going high. Have you heard of this lady? No? I'll tell you her story for those who don't know her. She literally was in America, and then she moved to the Middle East, started her beauty brand with $10 on Facebook. She had a product, but that product was so good that people in the whole Middle East were crazy about it. Okay? Because why? Because she understood that the cost to advertise on Facebook in the Middle East was 20 cents versus the TV is $2,000, $5,000, right? And the same thing here. If you go advertise your product on Facebook in Tajikistan, you'll pay 5 cents, 2 cents, 3 cents. But if you go on the television, you're going to pay a lot of money. Get it? So hopefully this is helpful. I'm going to open the floor for questions. By the way, this is my contact information. You can add me on Instagram. I'm very active, or LinkedIn. I'm very active. And I have an online class that I usually have people in America, use and buy and stuff. So I gave it to you in a very special discount. It's like 100 so money, which I don't think it's, I think it's very discounted because I was doing the math. It's my gift to you. This class is 2.5 hours, and I promise you it's 10 years of experience that I've built in helping companies do digital marketing. And you're gonna tell me why I didn't give it to you for free? Because I don't think people take stuff seriously if it's for free. You're much more invested if you pay for something. So I looked in a way to make it very minimal investment, but also because you paid for something, you're more likely to watch it. Because if you don't watch it, your life will be the same. But if you do watch it and you do apply it, I'll actually hire you if you take it. Get it? Helpful? Awesome. So let's open up the floor for questions because I love doing Q&A as well.
Roy, I have two questions. The first question is, you mentioned that the TV is losing attention and everyone goes to the internet. But on one article I read that all content is first produced for TV. And what do you say about this?
Because there's not enough yet producers for the internet in this part of the world. Okay? So even if the content is produced for TV, the people still pick up. Take a guess how many hours you spend on your phone every day?
Maybe 3 hours.
Do you want to make a bet that's more than that? We spend about 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours on our phone. 3 at a minimum, 8 as a max, or 9 as a max. So even though the content could be produced for TV, but if there's on-internet content being produced as equally as good, people will be consuming that. Make sense?
Okay. And second question is, let me remember.
We can take another question too.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. I mean, the thing is, like, you're always gonna read an article telling you that TV is still good. Why? Because they want you to think this way, because what's happening is this is how they're making their money. But in reality is, we are using our phone 3 to 5 to 6 hours. Okay? What's the first thing you look on in the morning? What's the last thing you look for before you go to bed? You love your phone. I do too. I was actually in New York once. And I went in New York and I started asking people, what is the most, Times Square? I was in the middle of Times Square with my cameraman and I started interviewing people. I asked them, what is the most viewed screen right now? And people start guessing, it's Aladdin, it's this, it is. And I told them, you really want to guess? They're like, yeah. I told them, it's your phone. People pay $500 million, like $500 million or $2 million to be on those billboards. In reality, you look at your phone more you look at those screens. But people just didn't get the idea that if your business is not thinking how to be on this phone versus this, you're missing out. And it's not that expensive to be on this, because it's still cheap because people didn't understand that. Because once people pick up that is more important, in this year in America, for the first time, digital spending, digital ads, went over TV ads. So basically, people used to spend, let's say, $100 million on TV and $20 million in the internet. This year, it's more than $100 million on the internet and less of that money on TV. In your part of the world, TV is still dominating. But what's going to happen in 3 years, or 5 years, or 10 years? Things will change. Okay? You are here because you have something in your head pushing you to think further. You came here because you wanted answers, you wanted to see what the trends are. Okay? The worst thing you could do is, once you learn this information, go home and live like life was yesterday. Because if you do what you did yesterday, what's going to happen tomorrow? The same thing. Nothing's going to change. But if you wake up, put a little plan, and the wrong thing you could do is try to do so much changes and fail. Do the micro changes. If you do 1 article a month, okay, after a year you have 12. If you do one piece of video every 3 months, just edit it, put it online, make sure it's right, the tag, great stuff. After 12 months, you have 12 pieces of content. If you take 1 online class, how to produce digital content, at some point you gotta make your own videos, and you could be hired on Upwork or Thumbtack or all those kind of places. Make sense? Other questions? Yeah. Let's give the chance for someone else. Yeah, tell me.
So happy to have you today.
Thank you.
Just a quick question. We saw that you were very much impressed by Bill Gates. You showed your picture. So I was just wondering if you have also some kind of pro bono projects, I mean, just social based. And what are the, for example, social projects you contributed a lot and what kind of impact it brought to the community? Thank you.
A lot of the stuff, because part of the work that I do after my life has transformed is I put a lot of content personally. And that content helps people get ideas how to transform their lives. So one of the programs that I'm involved with is called Kid Saves, which pretty much we help kids that are orphans all over the world, basically come to America and have families. What I do for them, I consult on their digital marketing. Because if you think about it, if you're trying to find a kid to adopt, where are you going to go? On the internet. And those companies, those nonprofits have no idea how to manage the internet. So I took it upon myself and my team. We basically help those companies, figure out how to run Google ads, how to run tags, how to run videos. Have you guys heard of something called Facebook Pixel? No? Okay, for those who don't know, pretty much right now, any website, actually most websites you go to in America have something called Pixel installed. What does that mean? It's tracking someone's behavior. And then they're collecting that data so they could use it down the road for Facebook advertising. Get it? Because if you came to my website, you're more likely to buy from me because you know me. So I can target you with advertising on Facebook, and pretty much you're more likely are gonna buy from me, right? So part of my work that I've been doing is, even in America, there's about, I think, the digital strategy, there's about 60% of companies in America do not have a digital strategy, whether nonprofit or businesses. So what I took upon myself, I wanna help more people understand what does a digital strategy mean. A digital strategy means put content, link your digital properties together, and understand how to monetize content because the attention you're getting on it. So that's the kind of stuff that I've done.
Thank you.
No problem.
The second question is ready.
Sure.
You said that, as I understand, the content is important for internet, and my question is, what do you think? What will be hot stuff next 10 years in the internet?
In your part of the world, YouTube is going to explode. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. What the number 1 search engine is who? YouTube is second. And how many companies advertise on YouTube? Take a guess. Out of 10 in America, take a guess out of, let's say, you pick a sample of 10 companies. How many advertise on YouTube? 5. Out of 10 companies, maybe toply 4 or 5 in America advertise on YouTube. In your part of the world, out of 10 companies, -1 advertise on YouTube. Make sense? So YouTube is on the trend to rise because the first thing you look up after Google is YouTube. So YouTube content is going to be huge. Also, what the next thing is going to be is digital content. By that I mean, let's say right now, if you go not far around you, you see someone who makes knives, who makes artisan work, who makes, what's the famous dish I had here? What is it? Tojo?
Kuruto.
Yeah, kuruto. So if you right now make a video how to make kuruto and put it online, someone out there is going to be searching for it. And if that piece of content that you put up, you might be finding it monetizing. So this YouTube is going to be huge. Also, those remote working is going to be huge. Most people in America right now are moving to work remotely, work from home. What's great for you guys is you could be those people. The challenge with working remotely is you have to be doing extra work to be engaged. By that engaged, I mean actively doing something like producing things. Okay? But if you're not learning digital skills, you cannot work remotely. If you don't know how to use Google Slide, or Google Slides, Google Drive, good, get better at it, because this is where everyone's going to be working. Have you heard of Slack? If you don't know Slack, look it up. It's the way we communicate and we collaborate in America, mostly like as companies or as teams, okay? Those are the trends happening. And what I tell people is, if you wait too long, someone else is going to create it. When I worked with the Uber competition, Lyft, people thought I was crazy, because why on earth would you work with a company that's sharing the rides, okay? In America right now, there's an app we work with called Turo. What is Turo? You can rent your neighbor's car. You don't have a car, your neighbor has a car, he's not using it. You can go on the app, rent his car, pay him money, drive around and bring it back. Make sense? Because that's what the internet enables. There's more transparency. And you're gonna tell me in Tajikistan, people don't trust the internet, they don't trust the credit card, right? You're gonna tell me that. You know what they trust? Other stuff. They trust their phone. They trust the bank account. They trust internet card, right? So you could figure out a way, if you really want to roll out the product, things people trust. Because how innovation happens is 50% with something you know and 50% with something you don't know. So if you tell people go directly to credit card, that's scary, because the financial, like people use, I think about 2% of people use credit card in Tajikistan. So you can't ask them to use credit card because they don't have it. Make sense? Well, what they do have is they probably have phones. They're probably buying minutes. They could pay with a minute. They could pay with your digital currency. There's ways around the system, but because if you look to the West to get ideas, you're gonna get the ideas, the West problems. Your problems are different, okay? But the struggles are the same. For instance, people always want something to make their life easier. People always want something to make their life simpler. And if you could build those products for people with what you have, you could be the one changing their economies. Make sense? Is that helpful? Other questions?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a question about, like you said, we should monetize with YouTube and Google Ads. So is there any possibility there is another platform except YouTube and Google Ads? Because, in Tajikistan, we can't monetize on YouTube. There's a big problem with PayPal.
PayPal?
Yeah, PayPal is a big problem because we can't register PayPal in order to receive money.
You don't have to do YouTube. You could do TikTok, you could do Facebook, you could do Instagram, you could do sponsored content, you could do Upwork. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're looking at one way to do it, you could right now basically find someone on Upwork that he would upload your YouTube, make you the channel, and monetize it for you, and he'll pay you for it. Like, pretty much, don't think of what is not possible. Think of the alternatives, because there's someone out there. You know TikTok? Have you heard of TikTok? Yeah. Anyone uses it? No. It's gonna be happening. Or Twitch? Have you heard of Twitch?
Yeah.
So those apps are already there. I'll give you an example. When I started working with Facebook, I was the first person to use Facebook ads and monetize on Facebook. People thought we're crazy because no one's going to be paying ads on Facebook. And look what Facebook is today. Make sense?
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
No problem. All right, so are we wrapped? I think we're out of time. No? Are we good?
5 more minutes.
5 minutes? Okay, so I'll take like 2 more questions and I want to make a video for my Instagram. Thank you.
I am a doctor, and what you can consult us, because don't have more time for do some business in website. What you can consult us
So you're a doctor,
about
right?
it? Yeah,
You have money.
that's why. Yeah, well, we want to also
When
do
you tell
some.
me you don't have time, it
Yeah,
means you're
yeah.
using your time for something
We have
else,
time, but
right?
very little time. That's why. What's going on?
Okay, I was making a joke. Because most people tell me I don't have the time. That means you're putting your time somewhere else to make you money, right? So which means you could hire someone to make something for you. Get it? Yeah. So most people in today's world, they don't want to spend money to make money, or they don't put their time to make money, okay? The simplest way to do it, either make time every week to to make a video on how you're helping people, what cases you're working on, what kind of stuff you're putting on, or hire someone who could do it for you on monthly basis. We in my agency, we manage about 15 doctors' accounts. We help them create videos. We help them post those videos on social media. We help them run advertising. Because the first thing people look out for on the internet, who is the best doctor? Or if someone told me a doctor's name, you know what's the first thing I do? I go on Google to actually see if people wrote about him, right? And if they're not doing this today in your part of the world, they'll be doing it in 5 years. But if you don't invest today, in 5 years, you're left out. Get it? So if you're a doctor, if you're, I don't know, like a dentist, lawyer, all those kind of jobs in this part of the world, I recommend at least produce one piece of content a month. And it doesn't have to be long. What kind of doctor are you? Cardiologist? So most people come to you because of what?
For the heart infarct. Yeah, infarct myocarditis.
So right now, you probably can think about the most common question people ask you.
It's hypertension. What we can do for the hypertension? The most important drugs about the most important drugs they are asking, and the lifestyle. What can I do if I have hypertension disease? That's why they're asking the more question about the hypertension and infarct myocarditis.
So if you take that question and answer it in form of video, okay, and run it on Facebook every day, what's going to happen in the community? Everyone's going to know you because you're answering people's questions and helping them, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to be thinking, oh, they're going to not come to me anymore. Guess what happens actually? More people come to you.
They're over healthy after this. It's great.
Makes sense? So if you're a doctor, if you're a dentist, you're a pharmacist, whatever your position is, right? So you're going to tell me, oh, I don't have the time for it. I don't believe in it. I don't know about the website. Hire someone who could help you, because that's when you actually make your money work for you, and invest in your personal brand. You know what personal brand is? Okay, personal brand is when you look at my name on the internet, you see videos about me, so you're more likely to trust me than other people. We're in day of age, our generation, we trust people more than companies. So you want a face on the name. That's why that makeup brand won. That's why Mac is losing, because they don't have faces that are representing those stuff. So what's great about you, I tell in America companies, before you're a product or a service company, you have to be a media company. Does that make sense what it means? Before you serve people with the product you have or the service you have to serve them with media. How do you serve them with media? You produce videos, you produce content that answers that question and concerns. Helpful? Okay, so I'm gonna take a little video now from my Instagram. So we're gonna make a little surprise because people don't know that I'm on stage right now. So what I'll do, I'll be saying to my Instagram followers, guess where I am today? And once I turn to you guys, you're gonna say, Go Viral Conference. Deal? Okay, so ready? Morning, friends. Guess where I am today? Yes, we are at the Go Viral Conference in Tajikistan. Those people out there are gonna be learn how to make money, and you could do it too. Cool? Thank you.